What's up, beer geeks? I'm Chris Cohen.
I'm Scott Fielder.
We are Advanced Cicerones and beer scholars, and we're here with another side-by-side of two classic examples of styles. In this case, American Porter and English Porter. We got them poured here. I guess we should just dive right in.
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's start with the. Let's start with this is Black Butte.
Black Butte from Deschutes. Little Pacific Northwest action. Very classic American profile.
Yeah, just a touch of roast. It's not super burnt.
Right.
It's not super acrid. Tons of like really toasted bread crust.
A fair amount of hot bitterness.
Yeah, dry in the finish. Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of that hop character classic, too in the finish, like kind of that piney, American, resiny.
Mm-hmm.
Touch of chocolate, very dried kind of chocolate character.
Very clean yeast profile.
Yeah, no fruit, no pepper, no phenols, no nothing.
Super clean. Definitely got that hop character is resinous, is piney, classic American style, fairly bitter.
Yeah.
And that's,
That's why it's on the list.
It's why it's on the list. In theory, the English one should be a little less intense. Let's find out. It immediately smells kind of more caramel focused and just less burnt.
Yep, less burnt. Yeah, lighter malt characteristics. Definitely getting like a red apple, red cherry ester.
Yeah, a little yeast fruitiness.
Yep. And then just as kind of you predicted on the palate, much more of a sweeter impression to it. Mm-hmm. A lot less dry in the finish.
Right.
Not really much roast, almost any roast to speak of.
Yeah, it finishes with a touch of it's kind of got a little touch of burnt, but it's like it finishes kind of round, a little sweet. It's more caramel focused.
Yeah.
It's definitely got some roastiness, but it doesn't have a lot of hot bitterness, and the balance it comes across as much sweeter because of the higher level of roast and the higher level of hot bitterness in the American example.
Absolutely.
It just finishes kind of with a crisper finish. I mean, you don't really hear people describe porters as crisp, I suppose, but it just kind of...
A little drier.
It just finishes drier.
A little more bitter, yeah.
What's the ABV difference on these? A lot of times the
Black
English...
Butte is 5.5. 5.5.
English ones tend to be a little less,
Sam
big.
Smith sometimes is a little bit... not super easy to find on.
Well, I was asking because it just feels like it's altogether less of a big beer. I wouldn't be surprised if the alcohol level is 0.5% or more, kind of lower.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. Maybe it's just that the American one has more of that roastiness and more of that bitterness.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty common difference between these two. Americans, do what Americans do. I've said this in a lot of other reviews. It's we take the style from whatever country. Usually the English, we
done that a lot.
Boost it up in pretty much every way and use American ingredients, especially in terms of hops, which give it that piney, resiny, grapefruity thing. We use that cleaner yeast profile, and we just make everything more bitter.
Yep.
And that just holds true for this, like, perfectly.
Yeah. So I think we would say, to kind of round things out, English as usual, higher yeast characteristics, a little bit sweeter impression, less of the kind of like darker, like really, really darker malt characteristics, more caramel, kind of lighter. And then American, those classic hop characteristics, dry, bitter, maybe a touch more of the, the roasted malt or kind of like the toasted, less caramelly kind of notes. And, like you said, something we've said before, something that seems to be across many styles, which again is why we really try to drive home that even though these may just seem obvious, you get a lot of bang for your buck when you compare American and English beers. It goes a long way.
Right. Yeah, because those writ large characteristics of these different brewing cultures, you'll find it across many of their styles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely worth studying. So make sure and go and get yourself some classic examples. And cheers.
Yeah, cheers.